Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of GRCV Hoops. This time around, it's only going to be me, Ricardo, my partner in crime, Gavin. He is out sick. He's been out sick for a few weeks. We just hope he recovers, and we have him for the next episode. In the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and cover some of the most important stories so far. What a crazy finish it is going to be this season. There are some crazy games that are going to happen tonight that are going to determine the playoffs and the lottery odds. But first, I want to start off with talking about Andre Ingram. What a fascinating story I heard about today. It took Andre Ingram 10 years and 384 games in the minors and overseas to be able to play in his first NBA game. Talk about determination. What an incredible story from this guy. And let me tell you, he had a heck of a game. He is a 32-year-old rookie, basically. And he scored 19 points while shooting 6 from 8 from the field, including 4 of 5 on threes. Isn't that incredible? He did this against the Rockets last night, and it was just incredible. It was a great story to see, and you don't see that very often. It's quite the story. I remember, who was it that played for the Knicks? Prigioni. He was like 30-something, a rookie, but this guy, it's just special. Andre Ingram. Hopefully he has a good time in the league. But now, the most important thing is the NBA playoffs. They start this weekend. It's going to be one of the wildest finishes in recent memory for the regular season. The Denver Nuggets are going to go to Minnesota to play the Timberwolves. Both teams are 46-35. Minnesota leads the season series 2-1, and now they're going to play. And this game is going to determine some seeding. If the Nuggets win, they finish 7th and get the Warriors in the playoffs. If the Wolves win, they finish 7th or 8th. So a lot is at stake here. And this is not the only big game that's on the radar tonight. There's also another game. These other two games are very important as well. It's Utah and Portland, who are both 48-33. And the other one is San Antonio and New Orleans, who both share the same record with the Thunder at 47-34. These are the possible scenarios that can play out. If Jazz and Pelicans and Wolves win, it's going to be Jazz at the 3, followed by Blazers, Pelicans, Thunder, Spurs, and Wolves. If the Jazz, Pelicans, and Nuggets win, it's going to be the Jazz, Blazers, Pelicans, Thunder, Nuggets, then Spurs at 8th. If the Jazz, Spurs, and Timberwolves win, it's going to be the Jazz at 3, followed by the Blazers, Spurs, Thunder, Wolves, and Pelicans. So that's crazy. Like, in one scenario, we have the Spurs at 8th seed. In another scenario, we have the Spurs at the 5th seed. That's just incredible. If the Jazz, Spurs, and Nuggets win, it's going to be Jazz, Blazers, Spurs, Thunder, Nuggets, and Pelicans at the 8th. If the Blazers, Pelicans, and Wolves win, it's going to be the Blazers, Thunder, Jazz, Pelicans, Spurs, and Wolves at the 8th seed. Wow, like, this is so crazy. All these different scenarios that can happen, and it's definitely going to be this might be the most exciting night in the NBA this season. Now, if the Blazers, Spurs, and Wolves win, it's going to be the Blazers at 3, Thunder at 4, Jazz, Spurs, Wolves, Pelicans. If the Blazers, Pelicans, and Nuggets win, I'm sorry, this is getting a little repetitive, but I'm just trying to point out these scenarios that could happen. Blazers at 3, followed by the Thunder, Jazz, Pelicans, Nuggets, and Spurs. If the Blazers, Spurs, and Nuggets win, it's going to be the Blazers, Thunder, Jazz, Spurs, Nuggets, and Pelicans. So, my goodness. Tell us in the comments we want to hear from you guys. What do you think is going to happen in these exciting NBA playoffs? We want to get some feedback from you guys to see what the fans think about this. And also, the losers of the Spurs and Pelicans will have to face either the Warriors or the Rockets in the first round, which is very, very critical. No one wants to play either team, though both super teams in the league. In the East, it's a little different. The 76ers clinch third if they beat the Bucks or if the Cavs lose to New York. So, if Cleveland needs both games to break its way to steal Philly's spot. Now, let me point out some scenarios in the East. If Bucks, Heat, and Wizards win, it's going to be Bucks at 6, Heat at 7, Wizards at 8. If the Bucks, Heat, and Wizards lose, it's Bucks, Heat, Wizards again. If the Bucks win, I'm sorry, my bad. If the Bucks and Heat wins and the Wizards lose, it's still going to be the same thing as if the Bucks and Heat and Wizards win. If the Bucks win, Heat lose, and Wizards lose, it'll be the Bucks, Heat, and Wizards. If the Bucks lose, Heat lose, and Wizards lose. If they all lose, it's going to be the Bucks, Heat, and Wizards. If the Bucks lose, Heat win, Wizards lose, it's going to be Heat, Bucks, and Wizards. If the Bucks lose, Heat lose, Wizards win, it's going to be Wizards, Bucks, Heat at the 8th. And finally, if the Bucks lose, Heat win, and Wizards win, it's going to be the Heat, Wizards, and Bucks at the 8th seed. So it's pretty crazy in the East as well. And honestly, I'm not sure who's going to come out of either of both conferences. I know the Rockets, they're very good, and of course the Warriors, even though they have injuries, but it's not as solidified as it was last year, which we knew was going to be the Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers. But this season, like in the East, the Cavs aren't going to have that easy of a route this year. Like, they don't have their superstar point guard, Kyrie Irving. They still have LeBron James and Kevin Love, but it's still not enough. Like, they need their other guys to step up to the plate. They need Larry Nance Jr., J.R. Smith. Especially, I think someone who needs to step up is Jordan Clarkson for them. I think he can be the X factor. If he plays well, I think the Cavs are going straight to the finals. But, we also have the Raptors who, are known to choke in the playoffs, but you never know the way they played this season, and they could go to the finals as well. Unfortunately, for my favorite team, the Boston Celtics, we just got hit with so many injuries this season, and we still managed to get a good record, and we're going to the playoffs, but it's not going to be pretty. We are without Kyrie Irving and, of course, as all of you know, Gordon Hayward. I don't think the Celtics are going to play terrible. We have the best coach in the league in my eyes, Brad Stevens. We have our young guys who I think are going to step up to the plate. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and I think the biggest and most important player for the playoffs right now for us is Terry Rozier. He is going to prove that he is a starting type point guard in the league. And another team I'm very scared of, which I don't think they'll go to the finals, but they're going to get experience, and they're going to give other teams trouble, are the Philadelphia 76ers. I am just incredibly just it's just shocking to see how good Ben Simmons is as a rookie. His size, strength, passing ability, it's just all incredible. And the Bucks do play them in Philly tonight. And I think Philadelphia is they're gonna win. They're gonna win. I think Ben Simmons, I wouldn't be surprised if he drops a triple double tonight. Then they recently unveiled a new logo for the 76ers. It looks very nice. You guys should check that out. It's on NBA.com or the 76ers website. The 76ers, although Markelle Fultz hasn't played that many games, I think if he comes into his own in the playoffs, it's going to be crazy to watch. Let me give you a rundown of the seeding for the East, how it is right now. And it's going to change tonight. We have the Raptors at number 1 with a 59-22 record. The last 10 games, they've been 6-4. But the same way the Celtics, they're 6-4 in their last 10 games. Pretty crazy. But the Celtics are 5 games back. They've won 54 and lost 27. Philly at the 3rd spot. They're over Cleveland. Who would have thought that Philly was going to be over Cleveland in the seeding? It's incredible. I know it's only by 1 game, but it is really amazing. And they've gone 10-0 in the last 10. Granted, they've had an easy schedule these last few games, but it's still impressive nonetheless. We have the Cavs at 4th, Pacers at 5th, Bucks at 6th, and Heat at 7, with the Wizards finishing it off at 8th. And it's crazy, between the Wizards and the Pistons, they are 5 games back. It's pretty crazy. And dead last, it's the Atlanta Hawks at 24-58. They are 35.5 games back from the Raptors. That is incredible. The Bulls, Magic, and Hawks, their last 10 games are all 3-7. Isn't that something? Now let me talk about the West. The Rockets are just sitting pretty at top of the number 1 seed with a record of 65-16. Wow. That is just impressive. The last 10 games are 8-2. The Warriors follow them. They're 7.5 games back. Wow. What a season the Rockets had. And it's absolutely incredible how far the 3rd seed is, the Jazz. They're 17 games back from the Rockets. They're 48-33. That just goes to show how good those Rockets and Warriors are. And how I previously was talking about it's going to be a crazy mashup when the night's over tonight. When the night comes to an end in the West and in the East. Okay, let me see if I see that. I don't know who's gonna come out the West, to be honest. Maybe the Warriors. Most likely it's gonna be the Warriors, but these other teams, they are gonna give them it's just gonna be an all-out war out there in the West. And as we've been talking in multiple episodes and giving our opinion about who is MVP, who is this, who is that, I think it's solidified for the Rookie of the Year, of course, Ben Simmons. But with the MVP, it's pretty crazy because Russell Westbrook, he needs to be in the MVP conversation. Giannis, LeBron, James Harden. Who do you give the MVP to? That's the question that I just don't know how to answer, to be honest. For me, it would be LeBron James. He's been cut short so many times in his career for the MVP, but we'll see. But that's going to be all for today, folks. I'm really sorry for the short episode. It's just tough with just talking by myself without Gavin. He brings so much knowledge to the table, and you gotta respect his love for the game. I admire that. I love that. He diehard Raptors fan, and hopefully we can have him in for the next episode. The next episode is going to be very exciting. We're going to talk about the playoffs, and it's going to be a whole different thing next week by Wednesday, which is when we record our shows. But that's going to do it all. That's going to be all for me. See, I'm mixing up my words. It's crazy. It's never this is my first time doing it alone, and it's pretty crazy. But that's all I'm going to say today. Thank you for tuning in. Follow us on all our social medias. On Facebook, give us a like, comment, share. Twitter, follow us, tweet at us, ask us questions. And if you guys could just keep supporting, we really appreciate that. We love doing this every week. It's fun. Give us your feedback. We want to know what we're doing wrong, what we're doing right, how we can improve, and just keep bringing great content for you guys at home. Thank you for listening, and until next time.